Yo. So, first time doing this, mainly for the fact that people usually come into my stream asking over patch notes yet, and whatnot. So, instead of making them go through the VOD, I'm try uploading this onto YouTube. So, new side story this week: Thieves Under the Light of the Full Moon. It can be kind of like the Halloween side story here, I guess. As always, I have a title screen change. Looks pretty good if I say so myself. Always like the title screen changes. And new currency, obviously, or sorry, currency in the side story, lost goods. What we'll be farming for on the first week. A 3-week side story with the artifact they're giving us. Be the 4-star artifact. It'll be increased currency, but 2 more artifacts here that we don't know what they are. They'll also give us increased currency for the other weeks. Alright, and as always with the side story here, I have the easy, normal, hard, hell. You can farm these for your fodders or for the currency. And as always, we can get equipment here with these kind of side stories. So 2 pieces each week. Let's go over these pieces of equipment. Alright, so boots. Fortunately, I don't like the boots too much. We're missing crit damage. It's a crit set with attack percent, so you can use this on PvE unit, but without the crit damage, your damage output, let's say for Wyvern 13 or something like that for damage dealer, and Wyvern 13 will be lowered. Likewise for a cleaver or something in arena. Edge key, say Bloodblade Karen, right? Berseria, sort of thing. Helmet itself, unfortunately, I don't like this either too much because of the fact that there's no speed substats. Being a hit set with effectiveness, it has mixed substats, right? So defense percent, but no health percent. It has attack percent and crit chance, no crit damage. But even if there was crit damage, being a hit set, it's slightly awkward in my opinion. So, not a big fan of the helmet. This piece is not too bad though. You have crit chance, crit damage. So I think that's pretty good. No speed substats, but being the fact that you have health and defense, this could work for most people still because of the crit chance, crit damage. Sword, same reason why I don't like the helmet, no speed substats. You know, normally this kind of hit set equipment, you use them on Falcon or Cleary, Lilius, you know, speed, tankier units that want to go first or close to being first with effectiveness against bruisers. So, not a big fan of the sword either. But the ring and the necklace here, I actually quite like these two. Being the fact that they're immunity. The ring is not as good as it could be. No crit damage, unfortunately, but you have speed and crit chance. You can use this on a decent amount of people, I would say, depending on how it rolls. Right? SSB, if you need the defense, crit chance, effectiveness for bruiser SSB, or you can still use this on a damage dealer. Granted, your crit damage will be a little bit lower because it's missing the crit damage substats. Necklace though is good because it has all the defensive substats you need: defense percent, health percent, speed, effect resist. So the necklace is the best in my opinion. I probably like the necklace, the ring, and the chest piece the most out of all 6 of these. Right, free artifact increases defense and effect resist of all allies by 2.5% to 5%. Based on the level. Effect does not stack with other artifacts of the same name. It's a free artifact. I imagine you're going to be using on too many people, maybe for like one-shot teams if you don't have artifact you need to run on anyone. Alright, and new limited hero, unfortunately, for people who are low on currency. But yeah, we're getting a new limited already. Landy. This was gone over on the official stream. But she's an Earth 5-star ranger with star sign Leo. And going over her skills real quickly here. Skill 1, fires at the enemy, increases the caster's combat readiness by 10%. Effective is doubled when the enemy is buffed. Combat readiness skills are always good, especially being on the skill 1 here. Every time you attack, your combat readiness is going to go up here. Increases the caster's attack by 7% after attacking. This effect can only stack up to 5 times. At the start of the turn, gains 10 fighting spirit for each buff granted to an enemy, and when fighting spirit is full, resets skill cooldown, starts the first battle with 50 fighting spirit. So passive is really good in my opinion. Attack is going to stack up real quickly, especially with skill 1 giving combat readiness. If you're building her as like a speed bruiser, which is what I want to do, you'll probably gain her turns and cycle her turns quite quickly. The other thing is the rest of her passive. She gains 10 fighting spirit for each buff granted to an enemy. With the current meta, most people run immunity. You might get a barrier if you're running Fallen Cecilia. If Dian goes first, she's going to buff her team. Right? When all of that happens, Landy's going to get a lot of fighting spirit the moment she starts her turn and the moment she goes. When that happens, she's going to reset her skill cooldown. And her damage dealing skill, Full Burst. Fires at all enemies and grants the caster increased speed for 2 turns. When fighting spirit is full, consumes all fighting spirit to increase damage dealt, and increases combat readiness of all allies by 15%. The skill cannot trigger a counterattack. So this is actually really strong in my opinion, because you get increased speed for 2 turns after you skill 3. Then you also get the increased combat readiness from skill 1, so she can cycle her turn more. And with a passive, your fighting spirit being full is going to give you more damage. So I think she's a pretty strong unit, but I'm going to be building her as a speed bruiser. But might see what other builds other people have. Alright, and her limited artifact. Good luck everyone. Wall of Order. At the start of the turn, for each buff granted to an enemy, has a 4 to 8% chance to grant the caster increased greater attack buff for 1 turn. After using an attack that targets all enemies, increases combat readiness of the caster by 10%. I feel like this is probably like a artifact more suitable for herself. You can probably use this on other units like, let's say, Wisteria, possibly get the greater attack buff. Enemies are going to have immunity or something. I don't think you're going to be using this on units like SSB, unfortunately, because Rengar's Drink is still a stronger artifact, but definitely more suited for Landy herself. Maybe there might be other units that can use her as we start testing these artifacts on different units and theory crafting. And yeah, aside from that, that's on this week's patch. No maintenance, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. You can listen to me go over this every week now. Aside from that, good morning, good night, wherever you guys are. Stay safe, stay positive. Peace out.